Alright, so pardon the mess, but I've just stuck the A source bus on and the output source was here the whole time. I've wired the A um, A register ALU A source output into the A source input, and I've wired 4 bits of the B, which is the temporary register output, to directly to the B of these two 2-bit adder circuits that I've got hanging off here. I've got bottom and then middle 2 bits hanging off from the A and B bus. I've got the carry out from the first one going to the carry in the second, and I've got the 4 bits going to the output bus there, and I've got the enable lines for them tied to the select line for when the ALU is selecting for add versus currently no op. And then way over here, I have the jumper setting for 0, 1 being the top 2 bits being an add immediate to A register, and then I've got the bottom 6 bits that are sign extended where I'm just adding 1. And then the A register over here, when I reset, it starts at empty. So if I clock it once, you can see that right now on the first clock cycle, it's going to do an instruction fetch. So whatever's there is also on the bus. And so when I clock it, you'll notice the top 2 bits go away because now the instruction has been loaded to the instruction register, and then the instruction decoder is taking over, and it's now saying, hey, I need you to output the bottom 6 sign extended to the from the immediate register, which just hangs off of the instruction register, and put it back on the bus. And so if we clock it one more time, we'll notice that now the B register down here has the value that was on the bus, because B register is our temporary register that we're using to add against A from fetching from the immediate. And so now if we look over here, the A input is 0 because it's coming from here, and then the B input doesn't have any sort of bus, but you'll notice that the ALU is now active because it's on that light instead of that light, which is now telling it, hey, add up. And of course, I only have 2 of these instead of the other 6, so only the bottom 4 bits of the output bus are correct, but you'll notice that 0 plus 1 is 1, and if I clock that one more time, now that value that was there gets loaded into the A register. And then if I clock a couple more times, it skips by the missing instruction pointer that would tell the missing memory to go to the next instruction. But since that's the case, I clock it, and now it's back to loading from memory because it thinks it's on the next instruction. And the A register still has what was there over here. So if I clock it once more, we get back to the load the input, which is a 1. If I clock it again, that's loaded there, and then the ALU is now asked to talk, which is now saying, oh, 1 plus 1 is 2. If I clock it one more time, boom, I get a 2 over there. And so if I clock it a couple more times, you get 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, which is boring. So let's add 8 plus 3. So if I pop this over here and pop that up and clock another, I should get 11, which I do. And then let's do 11 plus nothing, or 11 plus 4, which should give me 15. That should set that other bit there. So if I clock that, I get 15. Now if I add, let's add 5. So 15 plus 5, rolling over because the top 4 bits don't work, should give me 5. Oh, something is up. Why did it give me 4? Well, it's a little bit of debugging to do. What does it think it's got? Yeah, I don't know why it thinks. So let's see. So that's 3 plus 5. Should give us 8. Okay, it is doing that. So my math was wrong for some reason. So 8 plus 5 is 14. Is that... No, 8 plus 5 is 13, not 14. Yeah, okay, 13, 14, 15, 3. Is it 2? I don't know why it's doing that, but so 2 plus 5 should be 7. Yep, 7. Yep, okay. So this is clocking in correctly. I'm sure my math is wrong because I'm excitedly filming this on the fly. And then, of course, if I reset, we got 5, we got 10, we got 15, and then we got 4, 9, 14. Yeah, okay. Yeah, duh, because it's adding 5 instead of, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So there we go. That it obviously needs to be cleaned up. I have 2 more of the 2-bit adders over here that would need to get hooked up, which would give me the 8 bits that the A register needs. And you might be asking, well, why the fuck do you need 4 2-bit adders instead of 2, because this is an 8-bit CPU? Well, the answer is because the instruction pointer and the stack pointers are 16 bits, so you can access 16 bits of RAM without having to page it around. You can access it directly. And so those need 16-bit ALU, but everything else is 8-bit. Like we've got our XORs, we've got our ANDs. Where are the ANDs? They're somewhere around here. For the XORs, we get the ANDs, and there we go, the and the ORs over there. And those are all 8-bit because they don't care. But for the core, it needs to be 16-bit for some registers that are going to go over here. That's that stack that needs to be brought up, and some stuff down there that I'm rolling around. But the TLDR is, I've got the add immediate register here, microcoded up using these jumpers. I can set the memory values, I can clock through, and it steps through and selects the right thing and adds values to the immediate. So this is the first time I have had this system actually performing computations or calculations as opposed to simply moving things around. So I previously knew that like the microcode counter worked, the instruction decoder worked, the instruction pointer, the instruction register, those all worked. These registers all work for loading and storing, but I didn't have any proof that it would all integrate together with the ALU here that I'm kind of closing in on getting a proper layout for everything else. There's some other stuff here, like right now the CIN for this is supposed to come from the flags register for the carry that was set previously, and there's some other stuff there, like you should be able to add an 8-bit number, have the carry set, and then have that added to the next 8-bit number. So add with carry as opposed to regular add, so you can do 16 or 32-bit math, etc., etc. None of that is hooked up. This is all just simulated to just prove, hey, if I have something output from the A register into the bus, calculating here, and then put back to the bus, does it get loaded properly, and does it actually perform math, and can I clock it through instruction cycles? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, I can, and it is working, which is pretty rad. So yeah, that's that.